before the show even starts?
Here's the deal, H.
No one is expecting it.
And again, I'm like a fisherman casting a net in uncharted waters. What do we have to lose? There's
Right.
one person on there right now.
Oh, by the way, PJ, you need to add your new channel to the destinations so that so that if you have people that are on that channel but not on your main channel, they'll get notified when we go live too.
Hold on a second. Is
Yep,
that even
we can do
showing?
that. We can do that. So let me share something. Let's see how this looks. I'm attempting to share my screen, Mr. H. Okay. First, file, new tab. And is there anything? Okay. All
Oh,
right.
PJ, I was gonna show you this. I'm gonna
Hello,
flip,
PJ's eldest.
I'm gonna flip over here real
Huh?
quick. I want to show you something real quick.
What,
Look at
what'd you
screen
say,
one.
H?
I said hello to PJ's eldest.
Ah. What's up, Sharnelli? Sharnelli, are you going to share your newest baby with us this evening? And this is bonus coverage, Sharnelli. We're usually on at 5, but we're just, letting people get a peek behind the curtain. I like it, Taz. I like the flow. I like the
It's a little
movement.
it's a little
No,
fast,
no,
but
no. It's also fuzzy. You know
yeah,
what I mean? On my end, it is. Yeah.
yeah.
I love the
That's
concept,
why
though. I really like the concept.
if
I
I
like
can
the
get it,
concept.
if I can figure out how to get a cleaner version of it and a slower version, it would help.
Yeah. Um, do you guys see anything interesting here that maybe we could talk a little bit about?
I have something very interesting that ties into what we were talking about on Wednesday.
So,
The
well,
NF the NFL announced the national anthem for the Super Bowl. It's Reba.
Reba McEntire.
Yep.
That's a big deal. Absolutely, we can touch on that. Definitely. Matter of fact, let me see if it's here. So if you guys see anything that jumps out here, please let me know. Kenny Chesney narrates heartfelt "Take Her Home" music video. Do you guys know anything about this song, "Take Her Home"?
I haven't heard it yet.
Okay. Madeline Merlo, the meaningful story behind "Make Up" her most personal song yet. Obviously, very, very well to me, new artist. Lauren performing before he cheats with Carrie Underwood. Okay, so Blake Shelton to headline first ever all for the Hall concert in Oklahoma. Interesting, whatever that means. Unveiling the extraordinary story of the gambler made famous by Kenny Rogers. I wonder what that's about, Mr. H.
I'm curious to see they may not have it on here. CMT Giants is going to be Alabama this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Alabama, which sucks because they should have gotten it long before now.
Jelly
And
Roll. So they're getting it this year.
yeah, they're getting CMT Giant status, which, it's like Hank Jr., Alan Jackson, There's
Sounds
been others that have gotten it, but
pretty prestigious stuff.
it's
I-
people that are legends in the business.
Iconic. Now, this thing here, Jelly Roll, and Jelly Roll is what, a 2000 artist? Like
Yeah,
late
like
2000s?
2020, like
Okay, so he
2020 and beyond.
got you. So it's stuff that I probably
Brand
wouldn't
new.
even be listening to. So, and Megan Maroney, same thing, it looks like.
I'm guessing, yeah.
Okay. Morgan Wallen, does he sound familiar?
Yeah, new artist.
Okay, so looks like they're going to be featured in the new Country Music Hall of Fame exhibit. That'll be interesting. Here's how the Grand Ole Opry is celebrating Dolly Parton's 78th birthday, which we'll definitely do tonight, as today is Dolly
Yeah.
Parton's 78th birthday. Mr. H, did you know that?
Of course I didn't.
It's
Thought I was going to
it's
say I did.
interesting because you
Uh,
know, when you see what's on.
Taz, let Mr. H get a word in here.
Okay, sorry. I thought he
What?
was saying he didn't know that it was her birthday and he was done.
I was. I'm like, how dare you assume that I would know?
All right, go ahead, Taz.
Um, so I think she's doing Friday Night Opry and Saturday Night Opry this week. So that's going to
Oh,
be a big
cool.
deal.
Cool. Let me see what it says here. So I did acknowledge Dolly Parton's birthday today. As you know, I did my first in a series of Friday introduction. I'm sorry, introductions to the live show.
Right.
So early in the morning on Friday, I drop a video that reminds everybody, hey, we're going live. It'll be at this time, blah, 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 blah. And then I roll into this day in country music. So I did that for the
Right.
first time today. That's going to drop every Friday. So
Yeah.
on this day, I forget the year and I'm not good at math. On this day, January 19th, Dolly Parton was born in Tennessee. So let's see. So the Grand Ole Opry is celebrating her 78th birthday, but how? Okay, it looks like they're going to put on some kind of concert. Yeah. So you said Friday night shows held at the Ryman will feature performances by Lauren Aliana, Terry Clark, Dalian Vincent, and Don Schlitz, as well as special guests Ellen King, Ashley Monroe, and Till Grilly. Tig Gurley, what does that say?
I have no
Tiger Lily.
clue.
Tiger
Tiger
Lily
Lily,
Gold.
yeah.
Okay.
Um, and it's cool
So they're going
because
to take the stage to honor her. Look at that picture. Holy cow.
so the Friday Night Opry is what gets replayed or gets aired on Willie's Roadhouse on Sirius XM. They do it live and then they do a replay of it like on Tuesdays or Wednesdays.
Okay. Very cool. All right, so we got to talk about Dolly, right? And
Yeah.
her legacy, her 78th birthday. Wow.
The next story
What
down
a
was Reba getting announced for Super Bowl.
Speaking.
yeah. What do you think about this
Oh,
story here, Mr. H?
he's on the phone.
Ah, okay. So there's Tiger Lily over there off to the right.
Yeah.
Very interesting. I have to. That's clickbait right there because I just want to click on that to see what's going on there. But back to Reba. Back to Reba. So Reba's going to sing the national anthem at the Super Bowl. Are you good at Roman numerals, Scorpion Taz?
So it is 58.
It is 58. Is that because, do you know that because you're good at Roman numerals, or you know that this is the 58th Super Bowl? Or maybe it's both.
Both. Um, yeah, it's right now it's pretty easy for Roman numerals, but yeah, it can be like some of them can give you fits.
Mm-hmm.
But so the funny thing is Vegas gets in on the action with the national anthem, which I know they shouldn't, but it is what it is.
Vegas
And
is going to do
58.
Vegas.
they do they draw they do an over under for the national anthem. Is it going to be over? And they set a time. The thing is with Reba, 99% of the time she does it a cappella, and it's never been over 100 seconds.
When she does the national anthem
Yeah, and she's been doing the national anthem since she was a kid. Like that's how she got discovered, was doing national anthems
at a
at
baseball game.
Oklahoma rodeos.
Or was it rodeos? Okay, I think I
Yeah,
read in her bio for, I want to say the only song of hers I've done, Mr. H, is Fancy. I could be
yeah,
wrong. Maybe I've done a couple, but Fancy definitely. Reba says, I'm honored to be a part of something as big and historic as the Super Bowl coming to Vegas for the very first time. That's going to be a huge situation for the NFL. They have a team
yeah.
there. The Raiders are in town. The silver and black is in the desert. And now the Super Bowl. Vegas is on a roll. The NBA is going to be coming to town soon.
You got the NHL there, you got NFL. The A's are probably like 99% positive they're moving to Vegas. Um, it was a big gamble with the Raiders because um the casual fan going the Vegas is not the type of place you would expect there to be the diehards. And of course all the diehards are still in Oakland. But yeah, Vegas took a big gamble by getting the Raiders. Took a even bigger gamble getting NHL to go there.
Yeah,
But
if I'm Vegas, I don't call it a gamble to bring the NFL to town. I'm banking on everybody in the world coming to Vegas and
right.
looking for stuff to do in Vegas besides drinking and getting drunk.
Well, and
I think
and
it was
I think the
they made a it was a very wise move on the part of the NFL.
I think the reason it didn't happen before it did was because gambling wasn't as accessible as it is now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and people, I think the NFL, especially the previous commissioner, thought if Vegas had a team, which they've always been on the expansion list, if Vegas had a team, then it would influence betting in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, that's
Gambling is legal in most states now, and yeah,
most
we quickly moved past the whole gambling issue.
right.
All of
And
the all of the politicians on both sides were cool with it, right?
some of
It
the
was a
states
win.
are some states are still on the fence with it.
Yeah, but
Here in
most,
Maine, we
yeah.
just got the ability to do online gambling as of January 1st.
Well, cool. Listen, Reba's upcoming performance in Vegas will mark a significant milestone, like you were mentioning earlier, Taz, completing a full circle moment that began 50 years ago at the 1974 National Finals Rodeo in Oklahoma. It was there that Reba was discovered while singing the national anthem.
Yeah.
Man, what kind of electricity is going to be running through her body that night?
Right.
That moment at the rodeo sparked her iconic career in country music. Good for Reba. She's got to
Yeah.
do an album following that, right?
Um, I'm not sure if she's still wanting to. Is she still producing albums or not? I know that she did her Not So Fancy album, which was a acoustic album of her hits or some of her hits.
Mhm.
So yeah, that was
Here's the official poster. Very, very nice.
yeah.
The
And
NFL
Reba's really in the spotlight right now with being on
11/24.
The Voice this year, with all the, she's been an actress for a long time. She had her own show, and she's took a step back from singing, but she still was releasing, and she just doesn't tour, and she doesn't have to tour.
Do we know who Daryl Worley is?
Daryl Worley is I forget the song he's most
Do
famous
we want to
for.
talk about Daryl Worley? He was overwhelmed with feelings. There was a fire, apparently.
Yeah.
Looks like a pretty sad situation there. How about Kane Brown?
Kane Brown is a nobody to somebody thanks to social media. He was posting himself doing covers of songs on Facebook and made a name for himself and got a contract.
Good for him. Kenny
Oh,
Chesney sets the
um,
stage. Uh huh.
and so somebody said Daryl Worley is known for the song "Have You Forgotten,"
Have
which
you forgotten?
I think
Oh,
I've
yes, yes.
played for you, but I don't think
9/11
it
type
got.
song.
Yeah, I don't think it ever got posted. I don't think you ever
Yeah,
actually got it edited down.
that could be. I'll have to look into that. So Kenny Chesney has been around for some time. We could talk about Kenny a little bit tonight. Looks like he has a new album coming out. We could talk a little
Yeah.
bit about Kenny Chesney. What do you say, Mr. H? Is he still on the phone?
Nope. Kenny Chestnut.
Kenny, that's the one. We could. He looks like he has an album coming out. Um, I I
First, we're gonna have
think
to talk about George
George. Which George?
Strait. You're in your
Oh,
deep dive on George Strait, so we'll have to
yeah,
touch on that.
definitely. I was just wrapping up the Kenny Chesney thing here.
Yeah,
I think I've reacted to, I don't know, maybe one Kenny Chesney song. I don't remember the song,
I
but
don't
no,
know
you're
either.
right. We have to get Kendra straight to business, and we will. We will.
Yeah,
Um, Miranda's talking about life lessons from her mom. Okay. She inside Lauren. Okay, I don't care about that. Country stars embrace historic Nashville snow. Well, that is a very nice bikini body, if I do say so myself.
yeah.
Um, don't
Can't
know
see
who.
it.
No,
Oh, let me zoom in.
let me
Is
zoom
that
in.
the?
You dirty old man. Blake Shelton's
Who's putting it
old.
up? I don't want to look at Blake. He does nothing for me.
What do you want
Okay,
to?
there we
Do you want to read this story? Do you want to see whether we're going to use it tonight or not? Country stars
You want to
embrace.
send me a link? Because I don't know. I don't know that I'll be able to read it. I'll be glued on the.
Moving on.
This is
So,
an interesting one.
which
The
one?
the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band announced that this will be their final tour.
Oh, so timeline. These guys have been around what since the '60s? Because I will open up.
60s. I'm
I
pretty
will
sure
open
it's
up a
60s.
Wikipedia. The
Um,
nitty
yeah, I think
gritty.
it's 60s that they started. 70s is when they got big. 80s they continued to be big, and then they faded off in the 90s. But yeah, they still tour. They're like the Eagles that they keep touring, and
Yeah.
um,
Well, didn't there was another band that called it quits here
the
recently.
Eagles
Oh, okay, hold up. Remember, we joked about Mr. H that they've been on that final tour forever.
for
They've
10
been on
years.
that
Yeah.
final tour forever. So you're right. So the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, or NGDB, country rock band formed in 1966. Guess where they are from, or where they were founded? The Nitty Gritty Country Rock
I
Band was
want to
founded.
I
Uh-huh.
want to say Louisiana, but I don't
Long
think.
Beach, California, West Side. Between 1976 and 1981, the band performed and recorded as the Dirt Band. So for
Yeah,
that period of time, they went, okay, interesting. These guys I haven't heard yet. I've had requests for
you've
the Nitty.
probably heard the songs,
Yeah,
but you may not have realized it was them.
true. Could be. Could be. Yeah.
H, you just
So
checking to make sure all the banners are good.
yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm getting it ready because like I know since we're you're allowing me to talk now is Lori Thomas. You can text me your song request or you can email it to me. Nicole, I've sent yours over to Tazz. For some reason, I'm not able to download it. Mike Savage is in the house.
Savage is in the house. Listen, I told you guys, we throw out that net early, and what's going to happen? And here we are. We
So
have
I'm
And by
not
the way,
sure.
your
yeah.
Charnel had responded. She says, "I think I showed him before." LOL. Yes, but you're
I
talking to
got
a
you,
bunch of
Chanel.
old men that don't remember crap, so you got to show them again. Jeez, is
Chanel
it
is like,
that hard to know that we are senile?
Chanel is like, yeah, that's not happening. They've been sick. The kiddos have been um, really under the weather. There's this stuff that's affecting kids going on with the
She
RSV.
has my cell phone. She can text me a picture.
Yeah, there you go. Um, who are the members of the country music class of '89? I bet Mike Savage can tell me. The only person I recognize on here, maybe two people. Well, maybe. Okay, so
You should recognize all four of them.
okay, Alan is on there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then to the left of him is Clint, I believe.
Yes.
Okay. And that's Garth. Come on, that's Garth Brooks.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Now
you
this
should know
guy,
the final one too.
I'm gonna have some trouble with the last guy because you're gonna have to give me some hints. I don't.
Do you know the first name?
It's not Travis Tritt, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Holy shit! Wow, I can't believe I got all those. That's funny. So here's an in-depth look at country music's class of '89. All right. So are you guys okay with using countrynow.com
Yeah,
to
that
go
would be
over a
great.
few things tonight? Are you guys cool with that? Okay. Um, let me see. What's that one? No, we don't want that one. All right. When do we want to start our countdown? Are we good? How many people we got in the house with us, party people?
We have a
6 right
whopping
now.
6.
You know what? Thank God for Nicole Jewell, who's in the building. She is the jewel of this channel, of this community In fact, she be shining like a diamond. What's going on, Nicole? And of course, she went ahead and listed all of those four people there. Lori Thomas is in the building. Vince Gill, according to Lori, is a member of the class of 1989. Taz, I think Gill has one of the most beautiful voices I've ever heard, male, female, or antelope.
Yeah. Vince, you know, um, he can do it all, and he can act, he can sing, he you know he can host award shows
Can he
and be
juggle?
funny.
Can he juggle, Scorpion Taz?
I don't know if he can juggle, but he is definitely a very good performer, and even as he's aged, his voice has still been amazingly smooth.
I think Mr. H seconds that.
No, I'm shaking my head to Nicole's question in the chat.
Ah, okay. Care to share?
I got
So
an endearing little photo of a cat that decided to jump into a washing machine, probably because he felt he needed a bath.
That is
uh,
very funny. Anessa's photo of her cat. Um, Mike is saying something about a Travis Tritt classic, "Help Me Hold On." That's the song that made him a fan of country music. Wow. Now we got to put this on our list. Yeah, at the
yeah.
very top. Um,
Um,
that's the
I would
song that brought him back to country music. Whoa.
I would say my favorite Trit song is actually a cover of an Elvis song. Trouble.
Trouble.
It
So why
is
was Elvis singing about a 1970s board game?
so the lyrics go, I play an old guitar from 9 till a half past 1. I make
Mhm.
a living watching everybody else having fun. So it's literally about being on stage
Okay.
until the girl of your dreams walks through the door.
Huh. All right.
Um,
The king.
so I sing I sing Trouble on karaoke, and I don't use the CD of it that I have has no lyrics on the screen.
Well, that's good to
I
know.
I actually learned it. I actually learned the whole song, like literally memorized the whole song.
Taz,
And I can't memorize stuff for crap. So
I am I'm very proud of you, Taz. I'm very proud of you.
so there's two songs that I have memorized. And I had
Mhm.
to memorize them because of the pace.
Okay.
Trouble and Devil Went Down to Georgia. I have both those songs, once music starts playing, I can I can do the whole song. Um Other songs I
Where?
can do with a little bit of help is like Sold by John Michael Montgomery, Be My Baby Tonight. Those are fast moving songs.
Mike Savage
And
says trouble was always fun to dance to. You know, back in the day when Mr. H, he was out there kicking up his heels in Oklahoma. I could see Mike Savage out there, man, just being savage.
we'll have to do some Trouble tonight for you.
For
It's
sure.
it's definitely a hard rocker.
Nice. Looking forward to that. So, lady and gentlemen, I guess we're wrapping up our pre-production meeting, and we're going to start our countdown here in a few, right?
We're
Perhaps.
starting our countdown in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
DJ PJ Rock is in the building. Count me present and accounted for. I am your favorite DJ's favorite DJ. That is an actual fact in my mind. Welcome. It's Friday, January 19th. Happy New Year. We made it to 2024. It is a blessing to be here with you all on this Friday evening. We get together on most Friday nights. We hang out with our membership and interested parties. Interested parties are people who are non-subscribers and non-members to this channel. I'd like to welcome you to subscribe and to consider joining my YouTube family. It's good to have you here. It's good to be here. Let me tell you just a little bit about my YouTube situation. I have this channel where you are right now. I react to country music here. In fact, I react to classic country music here on this channel. Everything from the beginning of country music, Jimmy Rogers, I've done that all the way up through 1999. This channel, PJ Rock Reacts. On my second country music channel, DJ PJ Rock on New Country, I react to more modern or newer country music, stuff from the 2000s forward. Carrie Underwood, you guys know the later stuff. Check me out if you'd like to see me do newer country music reactions on my second YouTube channel, PJ Rock on New Country. Can't wait to see you over there. Oh, by the way, since I'm talking about channels, I want to talk to you about my folk music channel. Yes, you heard me right. I have a folk music channel. So if you're ever in the neighborhood, If you're ever in the neighborhood, I'm at Norspective. I react to all kinds of great folk music over there. It's been a lot of fun, quite a learning experience. That's what's going on with me here on YouTube. I also have a Patreon. I'm at DJ PJ Rock over there. So if you're so inclined, hit me up on my Patreon. Again, welcome into all of you. We're going to hang out, talk a little music, maybe do some live reactions. We'll see how it goes. The whole idea here is to interact with the people. I don't do this alone. I usually have friends along with me. Let me introduce you to one of them, my brother from a whole nother mother, my good friend, my dear buddy, Mr. H is in the building. What's happening, H?
Well, staying out of trouble.
You ain't
Oh, I
saying
like
nothing.
this shot, by the way. I like this. I like
You are,
this shot.
you are not staying out of trouble. I love the shot. I see our dearly departed friend in the background on the wall. You want to tell the people about your dearly departed friend?
Well, that is my buddy Shy, who I adopted 3.5 years ago, and this year he was 20 years old, and well, the end of last year he was 20 years old, and he passed away in the month of November and stuff. So my kids for Christmas, they got this picture of him that I have hanging right there, where they superimposed him in like a general's uniform and stuff. And I did get in trouble because I posted, because he has that resting, bee face. And so I made a meme out of him saying, if I weren't a general, I would smack the shit out of you. And Instagram said, nope, that violates the rules, and took it down.
Flag on the play.
Oops.
So how are you doing, my brother? I mean, yeah, I got to know Shy a little bit, and he was a dear little thing, man. Anytime we would have our meetings or we'd be just chatting, he was a constant presence there with you. And I sure hate to see the little guy go. May he rest in peace, my brother.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, things are going great. My channel is growing by leaps and bounds now that I've gotten back into it. I took about 1.5 years off, I think it was, but we finally broke 1,100 subscribers. We're almost to the 3,000 mark for hours watched and stuff. And who knows, I just might hit 1 million by the end of the year.
You know what? I am on team DJ No J, aka Mr. H. I am on your team, and I want to commend you on the hard work you've done over there in building a presence. And seeing those numbers go up is a really good feeling. I know you've been having some really cool interaction with the with your family over there.
Right.
That's gonna build, and it's really cool to have these families, these groups. They really are communities, and I want to commend you, man, for doing what you've done over there and what you continue to do. Check out Mr. H on his solo single. He only has one for now. YouTube channel, DJ with the question mark, no J.
Because I'm not a DJ.
That's right. What do you react to, Mr. H? What do you do over on your channel?
Well, at first, after you had started your channel, and then you convinced me to start mine, and we started doing hip hop, but I wasn't getting a lot of, play. I wasn't seeing a lot of people coming. Some people saw it and they were making suggestions, but really wasn't going anywhere. And I think that's why I fell off, and I stopped doing some stuff for about 1 year. And then I think it was about November, December last year that you're like, hey, you got to get back into it. So
Yep.
I went from 35 videos up to now. I've got about 80 on there and 1,186 subscribers, so it
Nice.
really started growing. International subscribers. I've got people that are over in Europe that are
Look at him,
watching.
y'all. Look
And
at
a
him.
lot
Look at
of
him, y'all. Mr. International. Look at him.
whoop, whoop.
That's what
And
I'm
I didn't
saying.
even do too bad on mine. I actually, because I tell people I'm not a DJ,
No, you're not.
and but I'm reacting to people as far as their voices and the musicianship and stuff. So I do. It's not like I don't have a background in music. I was trained. I did compete when I was younger in high school and stuff.
You and I both were in the choir, not at the same
Yeah.
school at the same time. Mr. H is about 57 years older than I am. So it wasn't.
We're in the same decade
school.
right now. I haven't turned 60 yet, so I know darn well we're in the same decade.
Oh
so-
man. So great stuff going on over there on your channel. May it continue to grow and prosper, man. And yes, indeed. Good to have you on board as always. We also have the third leg to this stool, who is critically important to what we do here. She helps to make a whole lot of this stuff happen. Scorpion Tazz is in the building, present and accounted for. Now, I am feeling the eyeshadow. Is that what you call it? Is that eyeshadow? Now, I look at that and I just think hot or flaming. That's the effect that it has on me. I'm not sure what kind of effect it has on Mr. H, but looking good, Scorpion Tazz.
I know how she does it though. She takes hot Cheetos and just rubs it on her eyelids, and then that's why it looks so hot.
Hot Cheetos. There's your pro tip for the day, ladies. Take it from Mr. H. Hot Cheetos. Keep your eyes closed really tight, though.
My week's gone good. Of course, me and you got together with another friend of ours on Wednesday on one of my channels. Spent an hour and a half talking about just music in general and a little NFL. And I think that's going to become a regular event once a month for us. And Mr. H was invited, but had some cleaning duties to do, so he wasn't able to join us.
Well,
But I extend the offer
Tazz,
again for February
for us to come back. Okay. Listen, you know my position. I'm game. Just run that shit past my agent, and
got to make sure she's okay with it. Yeah, I gotcha. Especially considering when this one's gonna fall.
No, I'm looking forward to it. It'll be great fun.
It's gonna be on Valentine's Day.
Well, we'll see. I might, have some roses in my mouth or something. So
yeah, we may end up doing it on the 13th instead.
What do you? So besides the great new show where you have not only music, folks, but you're gonna have NFL. Okay, that's
sports in
unique.
general.
I don't think anybody's carved out that space yet. We're attempting to do that. NFL, music, and food. Yes, Mr. H.
Well, just since you bring up NFL, I just want to put out my prediction for the Super Bowl. I think the Padres are going to take it.
You always bet on the Padres and my Yankees.
Well, I guarantee you, if they get to the NFL, if they get to the Super Bowl, they're going to win it.
You know what?
They're that good.
Tazz, here's the thing. I think Mr. H is right. If the Padres ever do get to the Super Bowl, they are going to win. I agree with you. 100% if they ever get there. What's going on your other channels? Are you still doing the farm sim thing? Are you doing the sci-fi stuff. Tell the people what's going on with Scorpion Tazz.
So right now I'm focused highly on Scorpion Taz Media. Um, I've kind of put the gaming channel on the back burner because I'm wanting to record at a higher quality on my gaming channel, and I need a new video card to do it. So until then, it's kind of on the back burner, and growing the media channel is going to be my focus. The big difference is the gaming channel, I'm not on camera, and the media channel, I am. And doing interactions with PJ, with anybody that's willing to jump on a camera with me and talk
Wait a minute,
about their
anybody?
YouTube channel.
It's like that? Just anybody?
Well.
Any old body? Yeah,
Let
just
me
jump
let
on
me
and
back
let's
up.
talk.
I say anyone that I'm subscribed to.
Just messing with you.
And my subscription list is very short.
Well, we're working on that. We
Well,
are
the people
working on
I
that.
subscribe to, that list is very short.
Yeah.
I only have 60 channels I subscribe to.
Yeah. Well,
And like compare that to my sister, she's subscribed to over 300 YouTube channels.
how did we get to your sister? This
But
age, we're now
let-
talking
let-
about Scorpion Taz.
so you brought up NFL.
Seriously, 300?
She
So you brought up NFL.
subscribes
That
to three.
ties it into his sister, her sister.
She subscribes to over 300 different channels,
Wow.
which is what I'm hearing is kind of the norm.
We need to get her on.
No, we don't.
I sense
But
some
speaking
sibling
of the
rivalry.
NFL.
I want to go deeper. Hold up. Well, you know what? Maybe not. Maybe behave. Okay, go ahead.
Speaking of the NFL,
Yep.
a artist that you've reacted to twice, and the second time the video hasn't been posted yet. You did a live reaction to her.
Yep.
Reba McEntire is going to be at the Super Bowl this year.
Say it isn't so, Joe.
She's going to be singing the national anthem.
Reba McEntire is no joke. Reba McEntire is from Oklahoma, I think, right? I
Yeah.
think she is from Oklahoma. She was born, Taz, March 28th, 1955. She's dubbed, I don't know how her and Dolly talk about stuff, but she's dubbed, according to Wikipedia, the Queen of Country. Reba has sold more than 75 million records worldwide. That's a lot of loot. Since the 1970s, Reba has placed over 100 singles on the Billboard Hot Country Songs chart. 25 of them, Mr. H, reached the number one spot. Reba's an actress. She's been in films. She's done TV. She's had a television series, Reba, which I think I've seen an episode or two of. That show aired for 6 seasons on TV. That's quite a run. Reba also owns several businesses, including a restaurant and a clothing line. Okay, I'm live. Whoever you are, you're on live with me on YouTube. Hang out for a minute. Yeah, so you're telling me that Reba is going to sing the national anthem at the Super Bowl. Good for
And
her.
to think 50 years ago, she was singing the national anthem as a nobody at the Oklahoma rodeo.
Yeah, I think I
That's where
saw
she was
a
actually
little.
discovered.
Yeah, I think I saw a little write up in here earlier, Mr. H, about Reba McEntire.
I've
They were
seen
talking.
Reba in concert 8 times. Waco
Wow.
used to be a major stop for her every year
Hmm.
in the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
Hey,
I've done.
can I cut in here real quick? I'm sorry to break up the flow here, but we had a special request since we mentioned Anessa Lynn's cat. So she gave me permission. There he is in the washing machine, cute
That's
as a
a
button,
beauty.
looking up
That's
saying, "When are you
beauty.
going to start it? I need a bath."
So that's an actual picture.
That's an actual
That's
picture
her
of
actual cat.
her son's cat.
What's the kitty's name?
Well, Anessa's got to tell us. And then, by the way, if y'all didn't see a close up of my cat, this is him right there, General Shy.
General
Cute
Shah.
as a button. Now, is that not a resting bee face on a cat? It was like, really? Why are you taking my picture?
It's a very, very cool picture. I love what they're able to do nowadays with these prints. It's crazy. They can print on glass,
Boots. By the way, the cat's name, I guess, is Boots.
boots. Beautiful. So apparently, Reba McEntire was discovered at a rodeo over 30 years ago, somewhere in Oklahoma. Right? She was discovered singing the national anthem. That's where she
In
came from, and
74. Yeah.
now she's on the biggest sports stage in the world, singing the national anthem. So you talk about a full circle moment, Scorpion Taz. Yes, I. That's pretty cool.
Now, let me ask you this
Ask
because
me.
I know y'all love Vegas and know Mr. H loves the casinos.
Yep.
If the over under for the national anthem this year is 100 seconds, are you taking the under? Or are you taking the over with Reba if she does it a cappella?
Under.
I think I'm taking the under as well.
Yeah. If she's doing it with music, over.
Yeah. Um Now, since Rock Nation has taken over entertainment um at the Super Bowl after the infamous um Janet incident, where they fired
Oh, is that
MTV.
that slip? The
Yeah,
little
that was
slip
that
thing?
slip that
It wasn't
MTV
that big of a
actually
deal.
admitted was planned. Um,
Janet Jackson and
Timberlake.
Justin Timberlake.
Yeah. Anyways, Rock Nation's run the has had the entertainment part of the Super Bowl ever since, and they have never allowed an artist to do the national anthem a cappella.
Oh
So
wow.
it's going to be interesting to see because I only know of one time Reba did it with music, and most people say it was one of her worst performances of
Are
the
you
national
going
anthem.
to bet, Scorpion Taz? Are you placing a bet?
Unfortunately, I can't.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see
Maine
what
so
happens.
Maine allows some betting,
Uh huh.
but where that bet is usually hosted, I can't bet. So the site I really want to be approved in Maine is called Prize Picks, but they haven't been approved yet. So waiting for that.
All right. Well, I'm hoping that happens. Mr. H, are you going to put a bet on whether Reba McEntire sings the song with the instrumental or she goes a cappella? Which one are you thinking she's going to do?
Well, the good thing is I'm not a betting man. I only bet on sure things like myself.
Yeah, that's why
Mr.
you go
H,
to the casino every week.
I don't know anything about the members of the country music class of '89, but uh, I came across this article while we were prepping for our little appearance here, and I was able to identify each of these people, which is I'm making some progress, aren't I? I mean, I
Yeah,
really
because you
got
didn't even
these
have the
guys.
benefit of the caption underneath because
You
you
know
were
what?
doing it off the main page.
Right. I swear to God. Yeah, you're right. I did not use the caption. I was on the page before, which doesn't show this. You're absolutely right.
Yeah,
Thank you
because
for helping me.
the moment you brought up, I thought of Garth, Clint. Is that I'm not too sure the older guy is that Alan and then Travis.
Yeah,
Yep.
that is
Yep. Absolutely.
correct.
Yep. Absolutely
Yeah.
right. Clinton Black, of
N-
course, in all black. Alan with that. I know he has a very special type hat. I look at the curvature of his hat as opposed to what's his name's. Very different type
Very
hats.
different. Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Well, that's because Alan's is meant to. It's a real cowboy hat, so when it's raining, catch the water, and he can, as he's riding his horse, it just pours it right into the canteen. That's a
wow.
proven fact.
So Garth Brooks, Clint Black, Alan Jackson, and Travis Tritt are collectively known as the class of '89. I did not know that. A group of trailblazers who to this day are still considered to be some of the most talented and influential artists in country music. They started to have a profound impact on the genre beginning in 1989. But their successes continued to bring attention to the genre throughout the 90s and beyond. Yeah, these guys right here, I mean, I don't know them really well. I've done Garth Brooks stuff, right? I've done a fair amount of
You had
Garth.
hell getting it on YouTube, but yeah, you did it.
Yeah. But they've had some staying power, these guys, haven't they? The class of '89?
Yeah, Garth. Garth took some time off during the 2000 during the aughts, 2000 to 2010, to focus on his daughters.
Mm-hmm.
And um the Wynn Casino in Vegas actually got him to do kind of a one-man show for a while that was featured in one of his box sets
Mm-hmm.
that he put out that you could only buy at Walmart for some odd reason. But then he started touring again. Him and Trisha tour, usually together. Um, but it has it's been interesting to watch his resurgence. And then Clint Black is just phenomenal. Everything he does. Um, I mean, you're talking about four giants of the industry right there.
Yeah, I really like his voice. So these guys, they hit the '90s and beyond, and of course Taz, Mr. H. These guys ushered in or helped to usher in that neo traditional sound that I'm getting familiar with as I'm in the beginnings of a George Strait set here on the channel. A very interesting time for country music. So these guys were in on that neo traditional sound. And of course, this particular sound placed heavy focus on the importance of storytelling. So bringing back the storytelling piece. Um, so tons of new fans came to the genre during the period of time that these guys were at their peak. The class of '89. Each member in the class of '89 broke out onto the music scene with their chart debuts in the same year. I guess that's why they're the class of 89. As individuals, they saw their careers skyrocket, but it is their collective impact that really made a profound effect on the music industry as a whole. So, as a class, these guys racked up combined 64 number one country hits and were awarded a tons of ACM, CMAs, Grammys, etc. Among these four artists, Mr. H, the class of 89, who would you say you like best? Or
Clint
would
Black.
you Clinton Black, is that right?
Clint Black.
Okay. Clinton
Garth
Black.
is
Yeah.
okay. Alan Jackson is really, it's a close tie between Clint and Alan
Yeah.
for me,
I really like
but they're
Alan
all
Jackson.
phenomenal.
So I'm putting this out there to the chat. Who would be your favorite of the class of 89? I think I know who Tazz's favorite would be. I'm gonna guess Alan Jackson.
Um, it's a toss up for me. Uh, Garth and Travis are kind of more my go tos before Alan. Alan would be third, and Clint would be fourth of that group. And then the one that's not really mentioned here is Vince Gill, which you could put him anywhere in that list, and it's good with me. But Vince doesn't get as much recognition because he hasn't had the staying power as the other four have.
Yeah, all great country music musicians here, and I've had the privilege now, I can say, of listening to all of these guys. Travis Tritt probably the least, maybe a couple of songs, and I think I
You've
did
heard
one.
you've heard him with Marty Stewart, and you've heard him doing the backing track to Bill Engvall's "Here's Your Sign."
Right, right. Um, you're right. Absolutely right. And you were mentioning Vince Gill here, this article. And folks, we're looking at countrynow.com. A very interesting article about the class of 89. And as you mentioned, Vince Gill, Mary Chapin, all a part of that class.
And
You
it
blew
mentions
it
there
for
that
me, PJ. I was going to ask Taz who was the female member of the class.
Ah,
yeah. But the difference, and I think why Mary Chapin and Vince don't get the recognition as much is because they were already in Nashville trying to make it before 89, and they broke through in 89, whereas the other four weren't really doing the Nashville thing, and they were able to bust in and get big real quick.
yeah. Um, very cool class,
Yeah.
country music class of 1989. I grew up in Houston, as some of you know, Houston, Texas, because there is a Houston, Canada.
Houston.
Is it Houston?
Yeah,
So the
Houston.
rodeo, the rodeo there in Houston was huge. And although I personally never attended the rodeo, um, so it's the rodeo and something show, Wild Stock, I think, right? Does that sound right? You're the
Houston Livestock and Rodeo. Yeah.
right. And so all of the big country artists would be there. the legacy artists, the newer artists. I mean, it's the biggest rodeo in the world. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I found that out. Again, I'm in the middle of this George Strait dive, and one of his one of the really important performances in his career was at the rodeo show. So I know about the importance of the rodeo, and I grew up with it, in the ether during a certain time of year.
And
Um,
you gotta think George Strait closed out the final rodeo at the Astrodome.
well, it only makes sense. George Strait performed that night and headlined because Eddie Rabbit got sick and couldn't go on.
Yeah.
And so him and the Ace in a Hole band responded to the door when opportunity knocked. So it looks like the Houston Rodeo is going to welcome 20 genre spanning acts in 2024. Among them, Lainey Wilson, who I'm not familiar with. I don't know if you guys have heard about her. I'm looking at her picture here. I do
She's been
want to
on
get,
the Opry a few times. I've
yeah,
seen her
look,
on the Opry.
I'm feeling her fit. I'm talking about the whole, I mean, the jewels and the hat. I am absolutely feeling what's going on there with Lainey. Eric Church is going to be on the show. Nickelback, which is not a country act, Mr. H.
No, but they're big in Houston. They have a pretty good following in Houston.
Nickelback. And I think the show doesn't only put on exclusively country acts.
No.
Mr. H, have you been to a rodeo?
Never in my life. It's too violent. I'd rather go to a Canadian hockey match.
Too violent.
Well,
Here comes the
PJ,
comedy
you
relief.
also got to remember where he's from. They don't pronounce it rodeo; they pronounce it rodeo for some stupid reason.
Well, that makes sense because that's the name of the street in Hollywood, Rodeo
But it's
Drive.
spelled rodeo.
I am not going to die on this here hill. What do you guys know about Lainey Wilson? We're gonna have to. I don't know anything about her, but
Like I said, I've just seen her on the Opry, and I typically don't pay much attention to her.
yeah, Mr. H, you know anything about Lainey
What's the last name? What?
Wilson, Lainey Wilson?
I've heard of her.
Okay. It looks like the rodeo is taking place from the 27th of February to March 17th. Let's see. What else? When I was growing up, it was at the Astrodome. It's now held at NRG Stadium.
Same property.
Yep, absolutely. Um, yeah, a lot of Jelly Roll's going to be there. Oliver Anthony. Wow. So he's doing shows now? That's the Richmond, north of Richmond guy.
Yeah.
Whiskey Myers. Who's Whiskey Myers?
Texas act.
I see. Whiskey Myers. Yeah, that's a country
Which
name.
we
All
had a
right.
request for
Whiskey
tonight.
Myers. Really? For the song?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Okay.
There was at the bottom of that. There was a poster of all the acts.
Oh, really? Let me go back and check it out.
But yeah, I mean, I grew up. I mean, I grew up riding horses, so every year in Waco when they do the Heart of Texas Fair and Rodeo, we would I and my sister would actually get to do the grand entrance, the uh, the grand entrance on the first night when they
How cool
let
is that?
anybody, anyone that was active in the horse show scene could be in it. So yeah, it was a lot of fun and getting to watch the rodeos. As I grew older, I still enjoyed watching them, but I was more interested in the entertainment going on outside. And that fair is held in October. And my sister always hated it because the fair always lands during her birthday. It's always the second week of October, and her birthday is October 11th. So it's always her birthday's always during the fair. And she would get so mad when the club that we were part of would be would be involved on her birthday at the fair. It was not her ideal spot to celebrate her birthday.
Yeah. Um, so these are the acts. I see 50 Cent is on the bill.
Blake
Carly
Shelton
Pierce, Blake Shelton's going to be there. Hardy,
for
Luke
King and
Bryan.
Country is a Christian act.
Okay. Hank Williams Jr. is going to be there. Los Tigres del Norte. That's some ranchera music. Some regional Mexican music. Love it. Lainey Wilson, who I want to get to know. And this whole Jelly Roll phenomenon, Mr. H. Have you heard Jelly Roll?
This is my favorite donut. I have heard of him. Yes.
Yeah.
I've heard of him. I haven't heard him sing. I can't wait to check that out. So Houston Rodeo coming up soon. Lainey Wilson, 50 Cent, and a whole host of others is going to be on the bill for the Houston Rodeo and Livestock Show. That brings back a ton of memories. What else did we say we were going to talk about from this site right here? I know
Well,
Mr. H was quite
Mr.
enamored.
H wanted to talk about the girl in the middle of snow wearing a bikini for some reason.
And to be honest, to be
Oh,
fair, I said I would have a hard time reading it because of her picture. It's like, I'm your traditional boomer.
hey, are you guys okay if I click on this article and see what it's talking about? Who are the current king and queen of country music? Here's why this is so timely. So I dropped my prelude to tonight, which is the video inviting everybody here. And then I talked about some of the things that occurred on this date in country music. Today is Dolly Parton's birthday. And so she was on the thing I did today. She's also known as the queen of country music. But as I also read recently, so is Reba is also considered. I'm beginning a set on George Strait, and he is often called the king of country music. And I know they don't wear no official titles or anything like that, but it's fun. And I'd like to take a look at this article written by Madeline O'Connell. Might be your cousin, Mr. H. You know any of the O'Connells?
I have an O'Connell, a cousin that are O'Connells. I mean, our original family name was O'Malin.
All right. Well, there you go. Who are the current king and queen of country music? First of all, am I sharing this? Okay, Mr. H, how does my screen look?
Yes. Looking good.
Look at these pictures, man. These guys look great, don't they?
They do.
Look at that smile
Fantastic
on
plastic surgeons, I'm telling you. They haven't overdone it. They haven't overdone it. That's good.
No, these guys look great. They actually look great. They say men age nicely. He's looking good in all black, man. I'm feeling it. They're both in all black. I love her hair color, and that smile is just $1 million. George Strait and Reba McEntire have rightfully earned the titles of king and queen of country music, and this article is going to tell us why. Hopefully, yeah, good looking pictures of those guys. Let's see. So what's going on here? So I guess these guys are so they are considered okay. Country music's royal family.
And you got to think both George
Roy
and
A.
Reba have a history with rodeo too.
Well,
So
definitely George Strait. Yeah, you're absolutely right. My introduction to him was Amarillo by Morning, where it is a beautiful tale about a bull rider.
yeah,
He's talking about, life as a bull rider. Mr. H, you think, we have it tough teaching and, doing business. This guy's a bull rider.
Yep.
His 9 to 5 was riding bulls and that sort of thing. And so my introduction to George Strait was that video, Amarillo by Morning. And so, yeah. And the song is about him, living that life and everything that it brings. And of course, Reba's connection, Taz, like you were saying, she was discovered at a rodeo. She was singing the Star Spangled Banner and got a contract out of it. Um, so, okay, it looks like Roy Acuff was the first self proclaimed king of country music back in 1962. Well, good for him. If nobody's claiming it, why not? Kitty Wells was the first to be named the queen of country music. I love Kitty Wells. Love Kitty Wells. She was a huge pioneer for her time. She broke down all kinds of barriers for women in the industry. I don't think there are any bad pictures of George Strait.
No.
no, there aren't.
Them starch
I mean,
shirts, creases in the jeans.
and you look at him on stage, and you look at him when he's roping at rodeos and stuff, and it's the same. I mean, he doesn't. It's not an act for him. It's
He is
here
he
I
is who he
am.
is.
Yeah, here I am. Deal with it,
He is who we thought he was.
right?
George Strait has spent the majority of his career dominating major country music award shows, seeing his name at the top of the charts, and building out a whopping 30 career studio albums. And by the way, if you're new to the channel and you're new here, I'm in the middle of a George Strait set. I'm learning about George Jones through music and through Wikipedia and stuff. It's been an interesting ride so far. To this day, his traditional Texas bred music has kept an era of country music alive that continues to be challenged with new genre bending sounds. And so, Kendra, that's the whole story as it relates to George Strait. Keeping it country, keeping it
Yeah,
traditional, right?
definitely. I mean, you think he's done. He started out with Unwound, and then he got a hold of Troubadour, which is almost like it's a song made for him. The song is almost written for George, and he had a vision of bringing back Western swing and incorporating it back into country music, and there's no one that's done it better.
Yeah, he he definitely asserted himself in this space. He has sold, Mr. H, more than 105 million albums so far.
Yeah.
105. Quite. 105. That's a lot of loot. This man is worth a ton. He achieved his record extending 27th number one Billboard country album in 2019, a few years ago, still going strong. That's when he dropped the best selling Honky Tonk Time Machine. Um, that project, Time Machine, Honky Tonk Time Machine, was his 30th career studio album. Um, so the singles from that looks like they were The Weight of the Badge. That song, The Weight of the Badge, was his 100th entry on the Billboard Country chart. Wow. So yeah, I'm in the middle of a George Strait set. Uh, I've done a few George Strait songs before. As most of you know, when I do a set, it's typically between 5 and 7 songs or so. I go with some requests, some stuff that I want to hear. So far in the set, I've heard Fireman. Mr. H, have you had a chance to see that reaction, or do you know the George Strait song Fireman?
I don't know it. No, because I wanted to actually ask you, have you had a chance to do All My Exes Live in Texas?
Not yet. I thought I had. For some reason, maybe I've listened to it. I thought I had.
That's my favorite.
Maybe it was blocked. I don't remember, but that's definitely on my list. But if you get a chance to to listen to that song, Mr. H, I highly recommend it. The song is hilarious. He's the fireman. He's putting out all kinds of fires around town. It's a really
and it ain't the one, and it ain't the ones burning down buildings.
right. It's a very, very
I
slick
love the play
song.
on words in that song.
Yeah,
The once you start really getting into the lyrics, you realize he's the one going to calm the wives down when the husbands do something stupid.
right. He calms them down. All right. This is Reba McEntire. I look at her and I see this beautiful flowing red hair. Is she typically uh, wearing the red hair?
It's always been red. I mean,
Gotcha.
she is a natural redhead.
What a smile. What a smile. Um, yeah, so it looks like these guys are the reigning kings and queens. Um, yeah, she's sold a ton of records as well. Um,
She owns her own
Masters.
production company.
Oh, does she? She's
Yeah,
had a ton of ACM awards, American Music Awards, People's Choice Awards, CMA Awards, Grammy Awards, GMA Dove Awards, um, 35 career number one singles. She sold over 58 million albums worldwide, 60 top 10 hits on the Billboard Country, 60 top 10 hits. That's pretty consistent. Um, Her top 10 success spanning 5 straight decades places her in the coveted group of like artists, including only George Jones, Willie Nelson, and Dolly Parton. That's rarefied company right there. Of course, here's the video from
fancy.
Nancy. Yeah, she is an Oklahoman. Looking like a butterfly. Looking like a butterfly. All right. Well, um, yeah, so that's some of what is happening in the state of country music.
Now, I have something to show real quick. If anyone doubts how big George Strait is in the state of Texas, this is a shot inside AT&T Stadium in 2014. Now, if you know anything about AT&T Stadium, where that stage is literally on top of the star at the 50-yard line. There's people everywhere.
I think that's 108,000. I think that's when he broke the indoor record,
Yeah,
the North
it's
American
a
indoor record for
massive amount of
concerts.
people.
George is, listen, they don't call him king for nothing now.
And so it's funny. Um, the main radio station in Waco is called Waco 100, and now you may think that's weird because everything, almost every radio station west of the Mississippi starts with K. Well, when Waco 100 was founded, it was all W's, and Waco 100 was an AM station, so that's how they got the name. Their clip is, we're so big they had to name the town after us, which is not true. But anyways, they
I
do this
like
thing
it, man. I like the ambitious nature of it all.
Yeah. So they do this thing at 4:00 every day called the Country Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
And when they started doing that, they made the mistake of putting George Strait on it one time as the challenger. They actually had to create a rule that if you went 14 consecutive days as the champion, you were retired as the champion. George Strait never lost.
Blew him away, huh?
Every single he had ran 14 days.
I am not surprised at all. And that is quite a crowd. I think the video thing that you put together the other day, the montage, I
Right.
think had some actual live clips from this concert. And from my research, yes, I believe this was the concert where he broke a North American indoor concert
Yeah,
record.
the montage I gave you actually has the record stamped in it. I did make a mistake in that video. I put that unwound at the end of the video. I put that that unwound charted at number 1, but it did not make the number 1 spot.
Yeah, nobody's going to hold that against you. Don't you worry. Party people, Mr. H, we have some people on here with us. Let's go to the chat and let's see what's popping. What is going on? Thank you guys so much for being here with us on our Friday night live show. Listen, for everybody out there watching us, we start the show off on YouTube, right? And I want you to listen very carefully. At some point, we're going to shut down YouTube during the show and switch over to StreamYard. We have a link. We're going to post the link. As a matter of fact, the link is posted in the description on YouTube. Am I correct, Tazz?
Yes, it's always in the description. It changes every week.
So the
every
link,
show we do.
right? So the link is posted currently in the description. At some point, we're going to get off of YouTube because I'm going to do a couple of reactions. We can't do that on YouTube. They will slam us for copyright. Mr. H and Tazz, as usual, both have a couple of songs, a couple of requests that I'll be reacting to tonight. And that's what we're going to do right after we take Scorpion Tazz a 2-minute break, if you guys are okay with that.
Yep.
We'll be right back. Give me like a minute.